Your latest article just dropped at 5 a.m. Monday morning. So you were talking about the worst trade deadline deals. You had done the best. You're just doing the worst. That just dropped. When I think of bad deadline deals, and I haven't read your story yet. By the time we tape this, it's not out. But one of the worst I can go back to is in terms of like great expectations and not coming close to it. It's the Chris Webber deal. Like that to me is one of the all-time most exciting. But I don't think he's really that guy anymore. Oh, he's definitely not that guy anymore. When you just think about that deal isolated, what do you remember about Chris Webber coming to Philadelphia?
For sure. It was trade. I think it was February. It was 23rd. It was 2004. It was Jim O'Brien's 1 year here.
Okay.
And they made the trade. We were in New York, and they were playing the Knicks that night. And Iverson talked to us pregame, which was unusual, outside the locker room.
Oh boy!
And the first thing he said was, "I talked to Chris, and he understands this is my team." So he was already like, Chris Webber may have been the guy in Sacramento, but you're not the guy in Philly. And they made the playoffs, lost in the first round 4-1 to the Pistons. And the next year, with a whole year here, did not make the playoffs. And that was the fan appreciation fiasco where they showed up late and the whole mess with Mo Cheeks and Billy King was all mad. And then they ended up buying him out the next year, and he signed with the Pistons. But he had microfracture surgery and just was not the player that he had been, earlier in his career. He just couldn't move, and it just didn't work. I mean, Billy King took a shot. It just didn't work. And they didn't trade a lot for him. I think it was like Corliss Williamson, Brian Skinner, and Kenny Thomas. But they took on a lot more salary. They did not win. And then they had to pay the guy like $40 million to go away, for 2 years. So, yeah, it was a swing and a miss. He took a swing. I give him credit. But, yeah, that was not a good one. Jeff Malone for Jeff Hornacek Jeff Malone and a first rounder for Jeff Hornacek was another bad one. Oof. Because they used the first rounder on B.J. Tyler, who was a guard out of Texas who played 1 year. The Sixers let him go in the expansion draft, and he didn't play again. He had a nerve issue. One of the beat writers used to say he called him B because he had no J.
It's funny. Iverson had that conversation with Chris Webber before the game. He meant to have it at practice, but we all know AI, man.
That wouldn't happen. Yeah.
And then finally, I know you gave us a percentage here earlier. You were talking about what, an 80% chance that the Sixers get a general deal done. No specifics involved, not Ben Simmons, nothing. Just you're about 80% sure they do something.
Yeah, I would think so. Like, unless there's just absolutely nothing to do and they don't want to, trade, like I said, whether it's Korkmaz or Shake Milton or, something to get a Paul Reed, possibly Charles Bassey, whatever, to get something back that would help them a little bit. Now they could try the buyout market, but I think they probably need a couple things. So if they're not sure, if they can't do the Simmons deal, maybe they could make a deal for one of them and then get somebody else in the buyout market, in late February or early March or whatever. All
right. Any last thing for you then? Oh, it was 60% that they moved Ben?
No, I said 40%.
40%.
I guess
okay.
It was 20% before, and now 40. I would say 40% now.
Gotcha.
But it's still going to, it's the Nets basically have to decide that and Simmons. It sounds like he's going to take a couple weeks to be ready to play once he's traded. And Irving only plays on road games. You know what I mean? Durant's, had some injury issues. So I mean, even if Harden's not busting it at the defensive end, they probably have a better chance right now if he's going to play. If he wants out and is going to go through the motions, that's a different story. So yeah, I would say 40% chance that they trade Simmons. Again, total guess.
Gotcha. Appreciate it. Tom Moore, always a pleasure catching up with you, my friend. Greatly appreciate it. Make sure you guys check out all Tom has to offer. You can always follow him, of course, on Twitter right here, and follow all his great columns for the Bucks County Courier-Times, Intelligencer, and of course, Gannett USA Today, part of that network as well. Tom Moore, great catching up with you, brother. Thanks so much.
Always enjoy it, Mark. Thanks for having me.